So Ellie has got a helmet that is going out of date very soon. So she realises it's time to update the helmet, but also it looks like when we look at this helmet, which is her old helmet, it's actually not sat particularly well on her head. It looks like it's sitting a little bit too high, and it looks like the position of it is perhaps not quite right. And the gap between her eyebrows and the top of the lining is a little bit too much. We normally would like it to be a little bit further down, which given the size of this helmet, and it's a size 55, which is a small, looking at the size of Ellie's head, sorry Ellie, might need to have a slightly different sized helmet. So we're going to take some measurements.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
So it's really important that you're wearing your balaclava when we do the measuring, because obviously that's how you're going to be wearing the helmet. The helmet size can be one thing, but let's take some measurements, make sure that the helmet size is exactly right. So I'm going to measure your head, preferably without putting the tape in your eyes, so just a bit about there. Make a mental note of that measurement.
Okay.
And the next thing I'm going to do is use these calipers, which we can measure the length and the width of your head.
Okay.
So if I start with the width, that's given us 21.5.
Okay.
Again, I'll remember that. And then secondly, with the length, 24.5. Okay. And that's quite interesting. So while the circumference measurement dictates that we're on the upper end of the 55 size, the measurements I've just taken with the length and the width of your head tell me something completely different, and you need to be in the next helmet size up, which is a 57, and that will enable the helmet to sit further down onto your head. Means that your head is properly supported by the helmet. So I've got a size 57 here. If you'd like to try that on.
Great, thank you.
Okay, so now you've got the helmet on your head properly, and you've got the chin strap done up. I can see above your eyebrows, it looks like the helmet is sat a lot better than your old one, which to me says already we've made an improvement. How's it feeling? Is it comfortable?
Yeah, it's quite comfortable generally, but I feel like there's a little bit of pressure above my temples here.
Okay, should be something we can do there to make some adjustments.
Okay.
Another thing, especially with yourself being a co-driver, that's really, really important is having the microphone as close as possible to your mouth. Obviously, this being a fixed boom helmet, there's a solution that Stilo do supply with every WRC helmet, which is the extra spacers. So it's really important to make sure. I think 2 would be possibly too much. So we're going to fit 1 now in between the microphone and the boom, which just brings the microphone that much closer to your mouth, and that's so important with the Stilo WRC intercom, to have the microphone as close to your mouth as possible.
Okay.
So I've added the extra spacer for the microphone. And then regarding the pressure on the temples that you're having, I've also taken, if I give you the helmet, I've taken these 2 4mm shims from behind the ear cups. I reckon that's going to make all the difference. So if you want to try it on again,
let's have a look.
If we can, we're going to try and keep you in the size 57, as that keeps it in the smaller of the shell sizes, which of course means it's a lighter helmet and it reduces mass within the car, especially important in a small vehicle.
That feels so much better already.
That's good. Excellent. That looks much better.
Yeah,
and
it's
really comfortable.
Yeah,
and it's just taking away that extra pressure that we're seeing.
I can't believe how much pressure that's relieved just from those tiny little shims. So that's great,
The other rule of thumb that we use with the microphone spacing is that you should be able to just pout your lips and touch the microphone with your lips. In this case, you actually can't. So what I'm going to do for the final tweak with this helmet is add another spacer, and that should just bring it perfectly where it needs to be. So with that second microphone spacer now fitted, the positioning looks correct. Obviously we have to bear in mind with the larger shell sizes, sometimes you'll need the extra spacer to compensate for the bigger shell, because this is further round. In the Venti, there are 3 shell sizes. There's a small shell, medium shell and a large shell, which is something new for the Venti range.
So from where I started with the 55 helmet, I actually can't believe the difference now to how comfortable and how well this fits. I thought when I first put it on, maybe it was a bit too pressurized, and I was thinking, is this right? But after removing the ear shims and adding the boom spacers, I can honestly say it's a perfect fit, and it's really, really comfortable now.
Excellent. No, I can't highlight enough the importance of having a helmet that fits perfectly, because obviously if the worst were to happen is you were to have quite a large accident, having a helmet that doesn't fit right and it's too high and the hands then pulls on it and it could start to lift is extremely important to get that right.
Definitely really, really vital. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you.